Sorry for the little skip in the middle. I got kicked due to inactivity. Like my character wasn't moving, so the game kicked me because it thought I wasn't here. But as I was saying, with one Ascension Atlas thing that's right in front of you, this is 1 out of 13, right? There's 13 classes in total, so there'll be 13 more of these, right? On top of that, what will also happen is that when you unlock the actual end piece, the elite skill for your class, what will happen is that you'll unlock the upper level Ascension Atlas, where upgrades in the upper level Ascension Atlas will apply to all of your classes, right? So right now these upgrades are specifically for my Paladin, right? These upgrades do not have any application to my Lightbinder or my Cryomancer because they have different, they have a different atlas for those, right? So, but when I get to the upper portion, and have access to the other classes to unlock, what will happen is that the upgrades I do in the upper level of the Ascension Atlas will have an effect on all 13 classes. So that way, when you go from one class to another, it's not like you're starting from scratch. You'll have the different buffs that you unlocked in the upper levels. Now, changing a class in Skyforge is very, very simple. So right now I'm the Paladin, right? If I want to change to the Cryomancer, all I have to do is click Cryomancer, change class, short animation later, I'm a Cryomancer now, right? And if you see my skill bar has changed at the bottom, so I'm a Cryomancer now. My prestige has dipped down because I haven't really done much in terms of my Cryomancer, but you can switch classes in Skyforge while you're out of combat. So if you're doing a dungeon or a PvP match or Pantheon Wars or Invasions, and the group you're running with wants a certain class, instead of having to quit this current game that you're in right now and re-roll a class, you can just get out of combat, change classes, good to go. You can start working together again. So this will really help in terms of not having to sit around doing LFGs for hours trying to find a specific class, because that's what you need to actually finish a dungeon. Because right now everybody can play any class, and therefore anybody can be anybody, which does really help a lot. So this is a very limited view of the Ascension Atlas. I don't have the upper levels unlocked to show you the more massive views. There is a video of Skyforge where they cover the Ascension Atlas. Not in detail, but they kind of give you a glimpse of how massive the Ascension Atlas is. Right now, in the closed betas, it's a bit grindy to unlock these nodes as you're moving along. Skyforge has said that they're going to recalculate how the atlas is unlocked. Therefore, you don't have to repeat so many instances and areas to gather these currencies. Next is your basic map. Right now, I'm in the Divine Observatory, which is a kind of the main hub that you go to find, to do your story or to find missions or quests or do PvP matches. So there's nothing much going on right here. This is a waypoint. Right? If you just want a waypoint, you just double click and your character will just waypoints that area. You can also do this in open world, not in dungeons or instances, but you can do it in open world. That's for sure. And then next is Y, which is essentially your contacts, right? So right now, these are my contacts list right now. This AliNet thing. This AliNet is kind of like the in-game version of Facebook, right? So what you do here is this is your kind of your profile in Facebook, right? This shows how many friends you have, your currency, your gems, your class, your prestige, your sparks, right? And this is your main news hub right here, your feed. But what you can do is you can actually switch through a lot of the different features here, And you can also like write on your friends' walls. Like you can go to like your friend's wall and kind of like leave a message on their wall. So it's a good way to keep in contact with your fellow players. They also have like the in-game kind of strategy guide, I guess, where you can look over things like, you know, the stuff you've already done before and kind of get a better understanding of like the features inside. Like I've done Portinari before. After you complete it, you kind of unlock all this information about it, like the different bosses that you find here and like what it does. The frequency, like, you know, all their different attacks, their combat style and everything like that. So when you play through this instance again, but on a harder difficulty, you know what to expect. You know what to prepare for, right? You know all the intricate details that you need to know, so that you can do a better job next time and get a better score next time you do the actual event. So this like tells you how much prestige you have, like you need to actually do it, and like the final bosses and everything like that, right? And then you can actually comment on each of these instances. Like for instance, Portinari, people can comment on them, and like you see here, people are talking about the instance that they did, right? And this is a good way for people to say like, hey, if you're having trouble finishing this instance, you can do this with this class. Or you can say, hey, there's like a bug here or a glitch here, you know, just wait for a new patch to come out before you do it, you know. Or like if there's like kind of hidden things in the level that you can find, like they can leave messages like saying, hey, if you go to this location, you'll find something hidden here. And then you can comment on like, you know, what they've said and also like what they say. So like the ones that are most liked go to the top, and then you can actually read through those, right? If you see here, you can take pictures, screenshots, you can drop in links, you can take a poll, you can do a lot of different things. Like it's like a actual, you know, in-game, you know, strategy guide, interactive strategy guide, which is something I have not come across yet. What you can also do is go to the forums, right? So this is in-game forums, like so you can have different threads to talk about different things, and you know, instead of like, you know, going to like different like, you know, websites outside the game, you can just, you know, look for guilds inside the game and just talk about the game, you know, talk about your experiences. In terms of communities, these are different communities in the game, which is basically kind of like groups or kind of like guilds, right? And so you can go through the community and look through the community if you want, kind of get a better understanding of what the community is doing. So this Divinity has, you know, a lot of followers, and there's people talking about the game here, right? So it's a very, very good way to interact with the community within the game, like while you're playing the game, as opposed to, you know, actually, you know, having to, you know, kind of alt tab into a website or something. You can access this all from the game itself, right? Which is a very, very cool feature. Here's your notification bar, recent posts. If you're like, you know, attached to some kind of forum thread, change the language. There's all sorts of things that you can do here. And I'm pretty sure I'm not covering all of it, because this is the beta. You know, it won't have. This is not the final feature in the game. But you know, it is a very nice feature to have, right? And for those number crunchers out there, again, like a lot of different games, like for instance, Guild Wars 2, you have to go to a different website, right, out of the game in order to like do skill build editor or whatever. But here in Skyforge, what you can do is, instead of like tinkering around with your actual, you know, abilities and talents, and like, you know, spending your credits on like resetting them, saving them, seeing that you don't like it, you didn't get the effect that you wanted, resetting them, and then, you know, saving them, like spending 2,000 credit over and over and over and over again, as opposed to doing that, what you can basically do is go to the actual editor, right, and choose different classes and choose different, talents that you want to do, right? Choose different talents, kind of get an idea of what kind of effects that you want, like what kind of skill bar you want, and then you have a link towards the build, right? Gives you in-depth kind of like a readout of all the skills that you've chosen, right? And so you can share your builds like with your friends, like this is what I have here, right? Which it's a very nice way to, instead of having to link outside game material, you can just link inside game material, post on your friend's wall in game, and there you have it. They have it, right? So like for instance, I have a friend here, right? So I can go to this is their wall, right? So I can post on their wall whenever I want to. I can see what they're up to. Yes, some of this is not in English. Again, this is beta. Skyforge is originally developed in Russia, so they have to translate, from Russian to English. A lot of stuff is not translated, but again, it's beta. It's forgivable. It's all right. They've done enough, right? They've translated enough for you to actually do the beta. You don't need to know too much of what's going on. Next, you have support. So this is the in-game support that you can access. Again, like without having to alt-tab out of the game. You have a lot of frequently asked questions, or like your bug tickets, whatever. And you can just go through that kind of thing, right? Again, report an error, kind of a norm between MMOs, really. Next is this is the market. You press N to access your market. You can access your market wherever you are, right? You don't have to run up to an NPC, right? And you can sell on the fly as well. Like if you're out in the open world and your inventory is full, you don't have to port out of the open world area. You can just stop where you are, sell your stuff, get on with your life, right? So you can buy different things from the market. Again, this is beta. It's not the full list of things you can buy. But these things right here, what you can do is you can buy these and add them to essentially your side skill bar, right? So if you see, I have my regular skill bar right here, which is highlighted up. And then to the right-hand side of that, you'll see C+1, C+2, C+3. So you can add different things there and access them, right? All you have to do is C+1 is essentially Control+1, and then you can access that. Again, you can keep buying to something different, but you get the idea that that you can add different things, different effects to your character, right? So back to the market. So you have different things you can buy. This is stuff like the rare currencies that you can use to buy different outfits or different things. I haven't bought any of this stuff, so I haven't tried them out, but I'll give you a good idea of like what are the basic things that you come out with. Here are your enhancement stones that you can use to upgrade your weapons and your trinkets. You can buy them in game. Different resources that you can collect from doing missions or story. Costumes that you can buy with your thread. Again, it's beta. They don't have the actual concept arts out, but they're just showing that there's other stuff you can buy. And this is all of them together, right? You can also sell on the fly wherever you are. You can sell whatever you have, and then you have the log of what you've bought and sold over time, right? Next is L. So this is your order, right? This is where the game gets even more in depth. So as you're an immortal and you're trying to become a god, what you can do, what happens is that as you get more followers, there's people that out there who not only want to follow you, but do stuff for you, right? And so you'll have these adepts, right? And what you can do with these adepts is you can send them off into missions, right? So you have all of these different regions that you can send your adepts to. Most of them are unlocked because you haven't gone that far in the game. But these are my adepts that I have right now. And each adept has a different ability, right? So this adept is an engineer, this adept is an envoy, this adept is a Templar, agent, Templar, whatever. And as you see, like right here, like right now this adept is out on a mission right now, right? I sent this adept out on a mission. These are the missions, right? So for this one region, I have these are the different missions you can send them out to, right? So like defending against prowlers, right? You can send an adept off a mission. You get an emblem, you get followers, you get experience points. Your adepts will level up over time. So you can select your adept right here. And then these are the resources that are required to, like, these are the resources the adept needs to finish its quest, right? Its mission. And this is the amount of time right here, like hour and a half. That's how long it will take your adept to actually finish. So right here, this adept that I have finished their mission, right? So 100% successful, I'll get 336 XP and 63 more followers, right? So I accept. Yay, I got more followers. This adept as well finished their mission, so I get to get even more followers. And over here in this other area, this other region, this adept here, they failed their mission, right? Now, when you fail your mission, you don't get as much experience or as many followers, but you still get some, right? This one right here, they succeeded. And then what you can do is, collect these resources, but in different ways, mostly by doing different quests. You can gather these resources that you need to actually send your adepts off to do their missions, right? And now provinces. Depending on what province that you're in, you can build temples, and temples are a way for your followers to gather around and worship you. Okay, and so right here, I have a temple set up in this region, and as you build your temple, you use relics to build your temple, right? As you build your temple, what will happen is that you'll actually get stat boost, right? As you see right here, like a small chapel, melee defense 0%, because I haven't upgraded it yet. But as you upgrade it, you'll actually get boosts to your stats, right? So that's why it's a good idea to get a lot of followers. Expand your following, expand your find relics and expand your temples so you can get more nice stat bonuses. Now, I'm not exactly sure these stat bonuses affect PvP or not. I have no idea. But right now, they're not doing much to set bonuses themselves. And then finally, just your basic settings, right? Right now, they said that the amount of settings that you have, they are going to add more settings, right? So they can appeal more to the low to mid-range computers out there, because a lot of them are they're suffering in quality. Like they can't see the different animations that are going on, so they're going to have different things to better understand what's going on in front of them. As for the more powerful computers out there, there are frame rate issues, right? I've suffered through some frame rate issues, but they said that in the next beta, they will fix the frame rate issues, and they said that they've optimized it, so it has like 30% better frame rate issues. So they're optimizing things as they go. Change your sounds. You can change your keybinds over here. As you see, it says Gamepad Y, Gamepad X. Yes, you can actually hook up your game controller to this game and play it that way. Because when they developed this game, they looked at games like Devil May Cry and God of War and Bayonetta, and they developed a combat style like that, right? So it plays more like a console game. So the idea is that yes, you can actually get a gaming controller and play with a gaming controller. I haven't tried that out yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of fun to try that out. And then your basic game settings. So that's just a general overview of what you find in your settings in your HUD. Next, I'll be going over some other features in the game, which will be in another video.